its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hey guys, welcome to my SOFHAB review series. This time, Rascal and I are covering the web series Star Trek Continues.
Doo-doo-doo!
Now this is a fan-made continuation of the original Star Trek series created by and starring Vic Mignogna and Todd Haberkorn. Now I had already seen the series a few years ago, probably about 6, but I wanted to rewatch it with Rascal so we could cover this together. So, thank you for joining us.
Yay! Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on upcoming reviews and so much more.
Yes, and thank you for subscribing to all her channels, sharing her videos, commenting. You help us out so much, and we're always excited when you come to visit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, for those of you not familiar with Star Trek Continues, it was a fan-made web series, as we mentioned, that actually had 3 Kickstarter programs.
3?
I'll tell you about that in a minute. It was produced by the non-profit Trek Continues, Inc. and Dracogen, and initially co-produced by Far From Home, LLC, and Farragut Films, who previously produced a fan-made Starship Farragut series. Now, it is an unofficial direct continuation of the series, but it emulates the visual and the storytelling features so much to achieve the same look and feel, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
The creators of Star Trek Continues intended to finish the original 5-year mission of the show, which it actually does in the final 2 episodes.
Yes. And for me, while I only have seen a little bit of the original Star Trek series, especially when they have for free on demand, wasn't quite familiar with everything in the original show. Just some parts that I knew from the episodes and more of the lore and stuff because it's become pop culture. However, going into Star Trek Continues, I have to say that it does a great job of not only being a sequel to something hadn't even finished, but it also is almost like its own thing where they don't have to rely on constant references to the original series for you to understand things. They may have their own stories, their own plots, scenarios, and ideas, and then just went with the original idea of them going back to Earth at the end of the series.
Now, like the original Star Trek series, it's sci-fi fantasy, and is based on the original Star Trek series by Gene Roddenberry, and developed by Vic Mignogna, as we mentioned. There were 4 directors: James Kerwin, Vic Mignogna, Julian Higgins, and Chris White. We'll go over the stars later, as we always do. It only had 1 season with 11 episodes.
Yes.
Now, each episode ranged between 40 and 55 minutes. They didn't have a standard time.
Right.
I guess it depended on the length of the script.
Right.
And originally released May 24th of 2013 through November 13th of 2017. And all the episodes were released on YouTube, where you can still watch it. We'll put the link for you in there as well. The use of the copyrighted and trademark properties from the original series was allowed as long as the production was not commercial.
Right.
And a portion of the funds was raised by thousands of backers through successful Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaigns. So they had 3.
Wow. Still
and let
3.
me tell you a little more about that, because I'm not fully familiar with it, so I want to read it to you quickly.
Okay.
After releasing the first episode, funded by Mignogna, new funds for the continuation of the series were raised. In part, October 7th, November 6th of 2013, it raised $126,028 for 2,981 backers, surpassing their initial set goal of $100,000. And that covered the funding for episodes 2, 3, and 4. The second Kickstarter ran from January 17th to February 16th of 2015. They raised over $214,000, exceeding the same goal of $100,000. They covered the production costs for episodes 5, 6, and 7, and facilitated the construction of an engineering room and planet set. And the third and final crowdfunding campaign, this time on Indiegogo, was held in early 2016, raising $199,049. And shortly thereafter, the producers announced the additional private donations to the Trek Continues Incorporated charity, allowing the company to exceed its fundraising goal of $350,000, enabling the production of the last 4 episodes.
Wow. So it shows just how really passionate they were about this project, that they constantly had these campaigns to help support and fund it. And they still did everything on a much, much lower budget than a majority of the Hollywood stuff out, both at that time and now, not spending $100 million, $200 million, $300 million to do one episode, and then you see it come out like it's like a trash can, and you wonder where the money went.
Absolutely.
They put every dollar into the show, and they faithfully recreated as much as possible, both within the legal restraints and within the writing power of making like the show.
And was positively received. It won a Webby Award for People's Choice Long Form Drama in 2016, a Geeky Award for Best Web Series in 2014, and numerous Telly and Accolade Awards. Critics actually received it positively, praising the quality of the production and stated that the show set a new standard for Star Trek fan films.
Wow.
So it really just, I think it far exceeded anything anyone was ever expecting.
Yes.
So we'll tell you quickly about the episodes and what makes this so special that you really should take a look at it if you haven't. The first time I saw it alone, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it was going to be good. And I say that because you'd had other fan projects that have come out during that time, and they weren't good, including one for Static Shock. And it was like, oh gosh, I don't know what to expect. The only reason I really wanted to see it because I knew Vic Mignogna was in it, and so was Todd Haberkorn, and it was Star Trek. I had watched Star Trek reruns as a kid, and as a teen, and as an adult. I'd never seen the entire series. Stupidly, I thought I had when I watched the series on Netflix with my mom, learning later that they only had put the first season.
Right.
So I still, to this date, have never seen the entire series.
Right.
If you have, let us know in the comments. So the first episode is Pilgrim Eternity. The second episode, Lohani. And in the first episode, I want to mention that a person who played a character in the original series named Apollo reappeared for the same role in here, which was pretty great.
Yes.
The second episode, Lolani, you had guest star Lou Ferrigno.
Wow, that was a big one.
And throughout this season, you had special guest stars where if you're sci-fi geeks, you knew the people from older series or current series, or who were big VA fans like Bo Billingsley. It was just fantastic. Yes. Third episode, Fairest of Them All, had Michael Dorn.
Yes.
As the computer of the ISS Enterprise.
Which was awesome.
And you also had fourth episode, The White Iris. You had Colin Baker from Doctor Who. Nakia Burress from Power Rangers.
Yes.
Adrian Wilkinson from Xena Warrior Princess. Tiffany Brower from Femme Fatales. And Gabriella Fresque with cameos by Chris Gore and Robert J. Saar. Now that was a star-studded cast.
Yes.
Episode 6, Coming Out Between the Dragons, starred Gigi Edgley of Farscape fame, which I've never watched, and Rod Roddenberry, the son of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, had a cameo appearance as a bridge officer. Episode 7, Embracing the Winds, featured Claire Kramer from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Bo Billingsley from Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
And Aaron Gray, who played Commodore Gray in the second episode as well as this one, and Marina Sirtis from Next Generation as the computer voice.
Yay!
Episode 8, Still Treads the Shadow, featured Rekha Sharma from Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek Discovery. Episode 9, What Ships Are For, featured John Delancey, the original Star Trek from Next Generation. And Anne Lockhart from Battlestar Galactica series as well.
Awesome.
Episodes 10 and 11, To Boldly Go Part 1 and Part 2, written by Sawyer, featured Nicola Bryant from Doctor Who, Cass Anvar from The Expanse, Amy Riddell reprising her mother, Joan Linville's role from the original series, and Mark Meir from Mass Effect.
Yes.
You also had Jason Isaacs as Captain Gabriel from the Star Trek Discovery, provided a vocal cameo in Part 2, although he's credited under the pseudonym Jason Lorca.
Okay.
So you just had so many people that appeared in here, and we
Yes.
haven't even gotten to the main cast.
Right.
This is just the guest stars.
Right.
They had a facility that was over 9,600 feet that they acquired in Kingsland, Georgia, and the sound stage is where they filmed everything. You also had Chris Doohan, who is the actual son of James Doohan, the original Scotty from the first Star Trek.
Yes.
This was just fantastic. The music even stayed true to the original.
Yes.
You could tell that they added some extra instrument and filler so they would be fuller. Outro was exactly the same as the original series in the way that it was formatted, showing still shots from different episodes.
Yes.
With the credits, they really put their hearts and souls into this, and you could tell that they really love Star Trek.
Yes.
This was not a joke. This was not just do something off the cuff. You could tell that attention was paid to detail down to every last part of this stage, the costumes, the casting, the writing of the scripts, the dialogue, everything.
Yes. And when you were talking about the guest stars, I wanted to say that what I really love about them having all these people, not only that are VA stars, but also people from other Star Trek incarnations coming on here. They played it so well, because usually when Hollywood does it, or in this case Disney when they want to, they usually just do it because they want people to praise it. It's like formulated. Oh, we have the original voice actor or the creator or this so-and-so in this new version. Oh, you're gonna cheer. See, it's the original person. See, we know the original. You know you like this person. Cheer for us. And it always feels like that's all the aim is. They don't understand why people like it. They just know people will praise it and pay to see this person or this or their role, and that's all they care about. But in here, they got people from the roles and gave them roles that would fit perfectly in for fans. So they gave not only the Easter egg, but it was also fun nod to what they were in before, and it makes for more enjoyment. They're just there because, hey, it's there, pay me.
Very true. Now, throughout this video, you have been seeing not only the trailers that were released originally, but also pictures from the Star Trek Continues channel on X or Twitter. So these are the official pictures, the behind the scenes, cast photos and everything. The only thing I got extra were the posters that were made.
Right.
And I think there was a teaser, and I got some footage from there. So all this you're seeing is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's quickly go over the cast. We have Vic Mignogna as James T. Kirk, Captain and Commanding Officer of the USS Enterprise. And he was fantastic. He has studied William Shatner. I mean, you knew it wasn't William Shatner, but he had every single little mannerism down, including to how he turned his head and the way he would stop and make motions down to the littlest detail.
Yes.
And it wasn't an imitation. It was like William Shatner has said, "Here, come, let me give you my being to use for this series." And of course, he's best known for his voice acting in anime.
Right.
And he's a longtime Star Trek fan. Had Todd Haberkorn as Spock.
Yeah.
And he was fantastic as well. The makeup was done where it was exactly like the original series. And Haberkorn also, as you know, is an anime voice actor, and he played Kevin the Tenaxian in Star Trek Beyond.
Oh my
which
God.
I haven't seen, but just had to give you that fact.
Yes.
Chuck Huber, who was played by Larry Nemesic in 1 and 2, played Bones, and he took over after that. He's the Lieutenant Commander and the Chief Medical Officer, and he follows us on X.
Yay.
And he was fantastic. Nemesic, I'm sure he's good in other things that he's done. He's well recognized as a Star Trek expert, and he's the author of Star Trek: The Next Generation Companion.
Right.
So I'm glad that he got a chance to participate in it, even if only for 2 episodes.
Right.
But Chuck Huber was excellent as Bones McCoy.
Yes.
Chris Doohan, as we mentioned, Scotty's son
Yes.
in real life as Montgomery Scott, taking over his dad's role. And he also was an extra in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and
Ooh.
portrayed a transporter chief in the 2009 film Star Trek and its sequel, Into Darkness. Featured cast, I'll go through it quickly. Grant Imahara as Hikaru Sulu, and Kim Stinger as Nyota Uhura, Wyatt Lenhart as Chekhov, Michele Specht as Elise McKenna, psychologist, lieutenant, and Starfleet's full-time ship's counselor.
Good grief, she was on everything.
She voiced specialist Krog, Loris, and Shamara in Star Trek Online.
Okay.
And then we mentioned to you some of the alumni and recurring actors: Bo Billingsley, Kipleigh Brown was Barbara Smith, formerly Lieutenant Smith, formerly a yeoman, episodes 3 through 6, 8 through 11, and she played Jane Taylor in Star Trek Enterprise and Kumamarki in Star Trek Online.
Wow.
We mentioned John Delancey, Michael Dorn, Doug Drexler as Paladin in episode 1, and he's best known as an award-winning visual effects artist on Star Trek, as well as Battlestar Galactica and Defiance. Michael Forrest as Apollo.
It keeps going.
And again, that series episode aired 47 years earlier than when it did.
Yes.
And he returned and played a role, and that was just fantastic.
Yes.
Jason Isaacs, credited as Jason Lorca, as an ESPer voice. He also played Captain Gabriel Lorca in Star Trek Discovery and Online. Mark Ralston as Admiral McGinnis, head of Starfleet Medical, and he played various roles in Next Generation and Enterprise.
Awesome.
Rekha Sharma as Avi Samara, who played Commander Ellen Landry in Star Trek Discovery and Online. Marina Sirtis as the computer voice in episodes 1, 4, 7, 10, and 11. We know her from Next Generation. I love her. I love that series. She's Deanna Troi in there. She also played in episode of Enterprise and Picard, 7 episodes, and Lower Decks, 1 episode. And 4 Star Trek feature films.
Oh my gosh, she was in one of everything.
So you've just had amazing actors. Aaron Gray, as I mentioned, that was the biggest surprise for me and thrill. Our uncle used to watch Buck Rogers, The 21st Century, and she played a role on there. So he was excited to hear that she was in it. And you just had so many stars. I can't keep going. Lou Ferrigno, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
And I got to stop, or this is going to go on so long, and you're going to probably go, why? But this is just one of those labors. It probably wasn't even work. It was just fun. You see them undertake something and put so much love into it. And it is a thing of high quality.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's something we don't see a lot now. You just don't.
Yes. And a lot of times now, you have shows or movies and stuff that are, whether continuations, revivals, reboots, whatever, they're always made by somebody that didn't like something about the original or didn't like the original first place, and they want to we can make it better. Well, this didn't do anything enough because even though that didn't exist back then, I want to make it how I want it, and this is what I'm going to do to make this show better. Poo on you. And then they destroy it because they're worried about satisfying themselves and be mean-spirited rather than honor what's there. And it's really great that Vic Mignogna did not do that with the series. He showed he loved. He made it out of love, and it shows every episode. It wasn't something out of spite or hate or I hate this show. I want to do it better when what I envision is nothing like you've seen before. It's nothing like the original show. He really put every amount of effort into it, along with all the people that worked with him.
Absolutely. 2 last things to add, and we're going to wrap it up. July 2014, Roddenberry attended an official screening of Ferris of them All in Las Vegas and endorsed the project, stating, I quote, I do have to say, and I said this earlier, Lolani, I'm pretty damn sure my dad would consider this canon. The fact that you do stories that mean something, that have depth, that make us all think a little bit, I really think he would applaud you guys, and I applaud you guys. And as far as I'm concerned, it is canon. So thank you.
Oh, wow.
And then the last thing is the publication Wired, dedicated to Star Trek Continues 5 videos of his video series, Obsessed, that aims to highlight what happens when people live out their obsessions to the fullest. Obsessed shows Mignogna and other people of the staff explain to what extent they have paid attention to detail to recreate the Enterprise set and the visual style of the original series. The videos are being published from June 13th to July 1st, 2014 on the Obsessive website. So, I don't know if you can see them on YouTube now. If you can, let us know in the comments. But this was just a joy to watch, and I'm so glad I got to watch it with you.
Yeah.
If you've seen Star Trek Continues, let us know in the comments. What did you think of it? Have you seen any of the other Star Trek series or the original series, whether you watched it originally when it aired or later on in reruns or on Netflix, however you watched it? Let us know. If you haven't seen Star Trek Continues, it is available on YouTube for free.
Yes.
Under the Star Trek Continues channel.
Yes.
And again, you can follow them on X. They have a whole channel dedicated to this fan project that posts still currently. And there's even a Star Trek Day as well.
Yes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell on upcoming reviews, and so much more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me for this special review today. I really have been wanting to do this for some time, and I've finally done it. And I do hope some of you are fans like I am of Star Trek and other series. It doesn't matter that we weren't alive or possibly seeing it when everyone else saw it. What matters is that this series aired so long ago and still continues to have an impact on generations long after, who appreciate what it offers and love what the people did. And this here is just a tribute and a testament to how relevant the Star Trek franchise still is.
Yeah.
We hope they don't destroy it with future series. Paramount.
Right.
We can still have all of these other series to appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us, Rascal.
Yes, I had fun.
Be sure to visit her channel. She's got awesome stuff, as you know. So that's it for now.
I'm Rascal.
I'm Julie.
Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and oh so wonderful, my specials. See you next time, and continue to go boldly where no man has gone before.
Hold your fire! He's releasing ectoplasma!
Romulan weapon reaching full charge in 3, 2, 1.
Basic maneuvers! Brace for impact!